it's June and I realise it's a year since I last did a tour of the garden, so I thought I would do one again this year just because it's interesting to see how it's changed over time. Let me know what you think, and if there's any advice you've got, because I'm quite a novice gardener, I'd be really grateful for any tips and tricks. So stepping out the back door, I've got these nice little violas, I think they are, and I probably need water actually, and then I've got this sweet little sign that I got from eBay. And then going around, I planted some more things up. So these are just sort of spare plants and spare flowers that I didn't know what to do with in the cat bowl. Over here is my little herb garden. And I've got all sorts of things. This one here my children planted up for me. It's lemon thyme at the bottom, and then they put some pansies and things around it. I had a spare geranium when I was potting them up, so I've added that in. And then my poor bay tree is looking a bit yellow. I'm not sure why. That's a bit confusing. I'm not sure what I've done to that. And then for my birthday I was given this olive tree, which is nice because now I've got two, which is really cool. Over here is my children's playhouse. I've added a box here so that there's not actually much in the house, and more toys are in there so that they can get them when they want. This is one of the newest things I've planted up this year. I got it on Free Cycle, and then I bought some plants just at the garden centre, and it's really filled out. When I first got it, if you saw on social media, it wasn't very full, but it's really filled out now. So this is a seating area we created last year. We've got the hammock frame in it at the moment and moved the table and chairs out because we wanted to be in the sun a bit more. But it's really nice having this area so that when my husband does the grass, there's space for it. And right behind here, there's a gorgeous little clematis that I got last year that's weaving its way up this, I don't know what it's called, is it pergola? That I found that somewhere in my garden. So round here I've got my little bug hotel. It's been taking a bit of a kicking because my son's discovered that it's got sticks and he keeps taking them out. My father-in-law made this and he's so clever, and it's got all different places for different kinds of creepy crawlies to go in, and it's quite a busy place. There's lots and lots of things living in it currently. Moving on around the garden, in front we're hoping to buy a new shed this summer, but haven't just yet. But just to jazz it up a bit, I've added some flowers there. I'm really into violas because they're edible, and I'm trying to use them to decorate cakes and things like that. Then we've got a trampoline, and then this is the bit that I'm most excited about. So this area here it used to be really overgrown, but I've made a lot of effort to sort of clear it, and now I'm growing all different things. And I'll give you a little mini tour of what I'm growing. So over here, this is a Daphne plant, and it's very nice smelling, and it flowers in April. And when we bought our house, we moved in April, so it reminds me of that. I've got a few flowers, and then I've got a border. If you can see these orange flowers, they're called calendula, and they self-seeded from last year. I only bought 6 plants last year, and they self-seeded and came up with all these little plants, which I've moved into a row along here. Then behind it I've got some flowers that are going to come up called Cosmos, and I grew those from seed, so they're not quite there. And then behind them, this border is to keep my children from running across it, and behind it I've got other things that are edible. So this is what is it, Indian cress or something it's called. I don't think that's his proper name. We'll come back to that. Anyway, so this is like a spaceship kind of thing. It's a bit like a courgette. It's related to a courgette, but that yellow thing there is what grows to be a squash, and you can eat it raw, or you can cook it, and they are called patty pan. And I planted the whole pack of seeds of those, and they've all come up. So there's quite a lot of those. And then over here is a courgette plant, and you can see one of the first courgettes coming with its flower, and there's lots more just coming. And this is a compact courgette plant, which I didn't mean to plant compact ones because I actually wanted to fill this whole area with this, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that now because I don't think it's going to spread, so I might need to plant some more flowers and things in there. And then next to that I've got some bean plants. I've got some marigolds as well that I grew, But these are some little bean plants, and these are just French beans, and then next to it are some morge too. And then in between the marigolds are meant to help keep black fly off, so I planted lots of those. So then if we come around here, so there's some spare climbing beans planted there, and then here I've got sweet corn coming up. These are my sweet corn shrubs. I need to weed again. It's just constant weeding at this time of year. And behind it, it looks empty, but there's more sweet corn seeds planted. So these are little seedlings I planted out, and then behind it I planted some more seeds. So hopefully these front ones will, I'll get the sweet corn off those, and then clear those, and then the next lot will be ready behind, so I should get more. And then along the back of the fence, if you can see these tall ones, they're going to be sunflowers. So they're quite diddy at the moment. They're probably only a foot high or so. And they're going to grow up nice and tall. Next to them, these are broad beans. So there's no broad beans yet, we've just got the flowers. And then behind it, there's some random potatoes. I didn't plant any of these potatoes. I don't know why they're there, but they are. So we'll dig those up at some point. And these are climbing beans, and then in between I've added flowers. So I think these are cornflower plants that are coming up. I can't really remember. There's some more broad beans. Here, something else. I don't know. That's some kind of flower. I can't even remember now. Might be Sweet William, or that's Sweet William, and the other ones are cornflowers. One way around. This is sweet peas. So they're trying to grab that. I really need some net, but I haven't got any, so I've just tied them to the poles that they're climbing up. So hopefully I'll be able to pick lots more flowers. And then behind it I've got more French beans, and I've been able to pick these French beans as I go along. And there's some more cosmos down in the corner. And then I've got a couple of gooseberry bushes, and this stick here is my new apple tree. I did have a pear tree, but my son snapped it. And my chickens are just sunbathing. We've only got the 2 chickens now, so they're just having a little relax. We can't let them out because the foxy knows that they're here, but they do have a nice big run that I add treats to all the time. So coming behind, so there are my bean plants, and there are the gooseberry bushes. So behind I've got even more, just loads of squash. I went a bit squash crazy. So I've got more here. These are a bit bigger. They're growing quite nicely. And then I've got some more under here, and more potatoes randomly. At the back there is rhubarb. And I've got loads of rhubarb ready for picking. I just haven't had a chance to come and pick it. And then over here is, at the moment, which is my favourite thing in the whole garden, are my peonies. And I've been picking these, and again, if you've been following me on social media, you'll have seen those. But every time it rains, it's so sad because they get beaten by the rain. And then behind here, this is where I'm growing some shrubs that I'm going to plant in another part of the garden that's not yet cleared. So it's coming. So I've got a hibiscus there. Behind is a rhododendron, and then I've got another Daphne. Well, the lady said it was Daphne. I'm not sure. I think it is. And then in these 2 green bags, they're potatoes that I did plant. And then I've got a couple more shrubs I got from the pound shop. So there's all things getting ready to be planted out. So turning round, there's my raised beds. I've got 2 raised beds that I've had for a long time, quite a few years. So in those I've got some carrots, some flowers, lots of beetroots. I've got some plants that have come up on their own from last year. I've got some spinach that's planted itself. I didn't plant that. Well, I don't remember planting that. And then over this side, in this raised bed, I did onions because I got them from the pound shop, and I thought, well, I might as well give them a go. Some of them are a bit weedy, and you can see some of the calendula that have planted themselves, and they're just there. I need to move those really because the onions don't really like that. But yeah, so they're a few weeks away from being harvested. And then this year we've added 3 new raised beds. So this one hasn't got any soil in it. This one's half full of soil and it needs more. And then this one is full, and I've put strawberry plants in it. And yeah, they're doing really well there. They're so beautiful. Look at that. and then into the greenhouse. So I've cleared the greenhouse. I did have this spinach plant that's here. It was full on this side with spinach, but I cleared it because when I went on holiday it's all gone to seed, like this one that I've kept. And instead I've replaced it with some, well, there's chives always there, but I've added tomato plants. And then here I've got my mange too that I planted out ages ago, and you can see I'm able to pick a little handful of those most days. There's lots of mint, so we can have plenty of pims, and then just more tomatoes as we go along, but there's plenty of weeding needing doing as well. And then along here I've got my sort of winter vegetables that I'm going to plant out. So I've got red Brussels sprouts, I've got purple sprouting broccoli and that sort of thing. And then I've got another batch of mange 2 or sugar snap peas or something that I'm going to plant up. So I've got one set here, one set outside, and then I've got this third lot coming, so I'll have a continuous load of those. So behind the greenhouse and along, this is not quite ready, but we're working on it. This area here is going to be raspberry canes and black currants and red currants and all that nice kind of soft fruit. So we will get to that. And then back along here are the compost beds, compost heaps. So this one is still working. This one we're emptying. We half emptied it, but it's been so buried underground, we've got to then dig deep to get all the lovely compost out. So this is my last area of the garden that's really unkempt. The nettles are now taller than I am. So as you can see, there's a lot to clear, and it really needs to be all completely cleared, ready for those shrubs that I showed you earlier, and they're going to fill that space there with beautiful things. But I have to be careful clearing it because there are some gorgeous roses hidden in there that I am determined to try and keep looking good. So this area over by the back door has got gorgeous roses hidden amongst the chaos. Absolutely stunning roses, and they smell amazing. You can see they're all hidden in there. If you've got really good eyes, you'll be able to spot them. So yeah, this garden, part of the garden, there's two things. I don't know what to do. Either it's going to become a herb garden, or I could make it into a like a wooden platform that I can do yoga on with the sun on me, but I'm not sure. So there concludes my garden tour. So it's June 2017. If I get the chance, I'll do another tour of it a bit later in the season so you can see when everything's really got going. It's all just starting to get going, but it won't be long until it's just absolutely everywhere and absolutely mad. So if you've got any advice about my bay plant, feel free to let me know, because I don't know what I've done to it. I don't know if it needs to be pottering, if I'm overwatering it. I'm not sure. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back again soon.